and it is quite a scorcher of a day, but it's nice just to sit and do a little bit of birding so early on. But as I said, it is very warm here at Djuma Private Game Reserve in the world-renowned Sabi Sands, South Africa. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Cedric, and behind the camera with me here on Wendy, we've got Panda. So thanks for joining us for this beautiful sunset safari. As I say, I'm thinking, just looking around here, just looking at this beautiful bird, and it's busy looking and foraging around for any little insects, maybe some grasshoppers, beetles, even some seeds, to see if it can grab some food for the afternoon.
Smaller birds, they usually use those dead trees because they have got nice hollows in them for nesting in particular. So that would be things like starlings, woodpeckers, orioles, all of those whole nesting bird species, all the barbets as well, oxpeckers. They like the dead trees because they normally have these nice hollow crevices in them that they can use as nests. But in general, things like maybe pigeons, they prefer trees with foliage, and that's because they mostly eat things like fruits. So there's no point landing in a dead tree or a tree with no leaves because it's not going to have any fruits for you, fruits or flowers. So it really depends on the bird species that you're looking at. For this African harrier hawk, if it's wanting to rest, it'll probably choose one with a little bit of foliage for shade. But for feeding, dead ones are definitely better. On this side, the birds are continuing my theme for me. I'm very lucky. I seem to be finding all of the raptors that are particularly fond of reptiles. Now I just need to find you an actual reptile other than the monitor lizard we saw earlier. This is a brown snake eagle, doing exactly the same thing we are and probably hoping for the same thing we are. A snake or something sunning itself on a termite mound or up in a tree. This brown snake eagle, in typical raptor fashion, like we've spoken about this afternoon, high up in a tree with absolutely no leaves. Now, one thing that we didn't actually mention earlier, which I'd like to go over now as well, it's got such a good view from up in the trees, but imagine if it was looking down and there was just a solid canopy of leaves below it. How would it see anything moving underneath it or anywhere around it going down from the tree if it's covered in foliage? Particularly the raptors have very good eyesight. The bull on the left has pushed the one that was swimming back into the water, and now they're stopping him from coming out. Look at that. They are much bigger than this young bull that's been swimming. You can see that height difference. My goodness, those two outside of the water are massive. And this is all part of the normal jest of being an elephant bull. This is all part of the fun and games of it. But you can see how quickly he's backing off.
No sign of any cubs at the moment. But if we look at all that sand in front of the hyena, it's a clear sign that this is a den site. And it's sleeping very nicely there. Oh, there is a cub. There is a tiny little cub there. Right at, it's going to suckle. Oh no, man. Come out again, you. There it is. There it is. As I said earlier, we are at a waterhole, or we was going to head to waterholes. The first one of them, this is right here close to camp. You might actually pick up a bit of clutter from camp in terms of sounds, just because we are in close proximity to the camp. However, we have giraffe drinking. That's pretty nice. The characteristic way I sit and stare for long periods, make sure it's safe, and then spread the front legs, and then drop the head down. There we go, look at that. It's the only way to get the head down there. This is when they are at their most vulnerable. They get their fill, they drink, they quickly jump up like that one did.
And I don't know, his lines are starting to get a bit active. The male has stood up and moved off a little bit from the family to have his ablutions. Isn't he such a gentleman? And when do you see this, everybody, in the north? The male lion getting active and mobile before the females. It's not very common. He's thinking about getting down again, though. Having a little sniff. He's a very impressive male. Yep, that's a good spot to put yourself down again. He obviously just really needed to go.
And once again, great on Chris. I think Chris had some hyenas, or a hyena with a cub. Nice to see that there in Pridelands. I think Chris had a fantastic day. He had even had those wild dogs and pups this morning. Wow. But yes, as well, I heard a thing about the Ottawa sandpack, and apparently they are moving north from Mala Mala, and still all 19 pups are alive. So that is good news. Good for that pack of wild dogs. I think that is always something to look out for. I'm hoping that they come further north here into Djuma. Maybe tomorrow morning we might be lucky. You know, wild dogs can move very quickly. So, crossing fingers on that. But yes, I just want to say thank you once again to everybody for joining us on our amazing sunset safari. And thank you so much for all the questions and all the comments that everybody sent through to us. It's always nice keeping us on our toes. And yes, well, we'll see what else we can find for you tomorrow morning. And I'm sure there's going to be another exciting drive. I know tomorrow morning is going to be quite hot. So I think dams will be good again, but I'm sure there'll be lots of other things around. But yes, please make sure that you do join us on that sunrise safari tomorrow morning, and then you can send more questions and comments through to us. But yes, from the Wild Earth team, from all of us, from Panda, there's Impala, the Zebras, and from myself and the Wild Earth team, have a wonderful evening. Good night.